Hey there, adventurers! Welcome to VR Caps, the ultimate destination for all things isekai. Today, we're diving into the virtual world of Am I the Strongest?, a brand new isekai anime that's taking the genre by storm. I'm your host, and together, we'll explore the thrilling first episode of this action-packed series.
In someone's residence, Hart, a man who became a shut-in 5 years ago because of bullying, fiddles through his phone until a dazzling light suddenly appears, with the appearance of a goddess who announces that he'll be reincarnated into another world. Seeing that Hart is surprised, the goddess reveals that she'll give him a cheat skill. Excited, Hart wants to grant his wish to immerse his time in anime and games all day. Without further delay, the goddess reincarnates the shut-in into another world. In a royal palace, a baby wakes up and greets the excited emperor and his servant. Excited, the majesty brags to his wife, Gislat, about the royal's mark on their son's chest. As they are enjoying, the baby, Hart, watches his new parents until a crystal ball appears wherein a cloaked mage uses it to measure the magic level of the newborn. Along the mesmerizing strong wind, the king expects a high level, given that he's the son of Gislat, who defeated the demon king. However, the crystal ball shows only level 2, surprising the cloaked man. Then he reports to the disappointed king the results, adding that the child can use only barrier magic. Eventually, the reactions of his parents frighten Hart. Eventually, they decide to announce to the public that their child isn't able to live. Unfortunately, the crybaby can't do anything, and the king orders the mage to throw the child into the forest. In the heavenly realm, the goddess is troubled as she reveals to her companion Hart's troubles, saying that the tool humans use can only measure 2 digits even though the real stats is 1002. In the dark forest, Hart struggles to move. After remembering his magic capabilities, the child uses barrier magic and becomes excited upon successfully casting it. He then plays with the newfound ability and changes its shape to anything. Afterward, Hart puts it to himself and floats his body midair. But when he plans to use the barrier to protect himself, a ferocious beast shows up and crunches straight into it. Fortunately, the shield prolongs his survivability, and he summons barriers and shoots it toward the large wolf, who then roars, not suffering a damage. Troubled, Hart ponders a plan and sees a large tree which he then carries with barriers and hits the powerful enemy. Despite being wounded, the beast stands up, causing Hart to worry, leading him to utilize the ground to stomp the predator. Terrified, the ferocious beast announces her surrender to the baby. However, the surprised otherworlder doesn't notice that it's the beast that begs for mercy. As he continues, the monster yells loudly and finally gets Hart's attention. After that, the frightened beast reveals that she tried to replenish magic power and asks the oddly powerful child what he is. To their disappointment, Hart can't spout words. The boy then uses the barrier magic to produce sounds and successfully does it, surprising the monster, who then repeats her question. Unfortunately, his royalty name, Reinhardt, is troublesome to say, so he introduces himself as Hart and tells the monster that his parents threw him away because of having low magic. Mysteriously, the opposite of that is what the beast sees. With wide-opened eyes, the monster assumes that Hart is a reincarnation of the Demon King. Even though it's not true, Hart pretends he's the Demon King, and the beast unsurprisingly believes the bluff. Accepting her defeat, the beast urges the baby to end her life, but Hart refuses. Amazed, the monster politely introduces herself as the Flame Fenrir and swears not to attack Hart. Before leaving, the otherworlder gives her the nickname Flay, causing her to be surprised and stops Hart by calling him Master. As he turns around, Hart sees Flay declaring her life to him as she says their contract is now sealed. Troubled, Hart explains that Flay is just a nickname, but the troublesome beast doesn't listen. But while he denies the contract once more, Hart's body weakens and he falls to the ground. Hart then shows a face devoid of strength and tells the worried Flay that he needs mother's milk. Seeing that Flay is dumbfounded, Hart expects it's the end, but Flay then uses her magic to transform into a woman. However, the former adolescent man embarrassingly tells the naked woman to wear clothes. Flay is now embarrassed too, so Hart forms a barrier around her and shifts his form into clothes, but it makes things worse as Hart thinks it's seducing. To give the milk, Flay removes her clothes and urges Hart to plant his seeds on her to enable her to produce milk. After apologizing for her actions, Flay notices someone's presence, so Hart plants a telepathy device to talk with Flay privately. After that, a strong-looking knight appears and reveals he'll take Hart, but Flay refuses him. While the man is surprised, Flay says she has the right as the baby is her master. Confused, the man wants to rescue Hart and shows milk, assuming the baby is hungry. Even though Hart wants it, hearing Flay refuse diminishes his strength. Mysteriously, the man is confident that Flay can't raise the child, and seeing that she's still arguing, He reveals that he has a wife who miscarried a baby. Moreover, the warrior swears that he won't care even if the kid has little magic. After being moved, Flay cries, so the man proposes a deal to be his servant so they can both protect the baby. Immediately, Flay accepts the deal, and the two agree to a compromise. The man then crushes the basket where Hart was and creates a fake scenario that the baby perished. Afterward, the two bring Hart to his new home, but Flay still refuses to get the milk. Eventually, 9 years have passed, and Hart greets his new home with his adopted father, Margrave Gold. Then he reveals his inability to leave the place because of his family's kindness, but after seeing his sister, Charlotte, seems to hate him, tears come out of the now older brother. Irritated, Flay orders them to make Hart happy as she serves food. Surprisingly, Charlotte is getting along great with her, causing Hart to be jealous. The little girl invites Flay to play with her, but the woman refuses. But upon Hart's permission, Flay accepts the invitation immediately, and they play in the garden while Hart watches them. When she sees him, Hart's mother shows up worried and tells Hart that it may be because of their opposite gender that Charlotte is acting distant. While Hart is doubting it, the scene that Charlotte enjoys playing with Flay is an obvious reason. However, Hart worries that her sister noticed he's a near 30-year-old man inside, as he kneels upon imagining that Charlotte sees him as disgusting. The mother then suggests Hart act like an older brother to Charlotte, giving the hopeless man hope even although he's unsociable. After that, Hart was told not to hole up in his room as he'll be their heir someday. In his room, Hart is troubled as he wants to leave the place but worries that Charlotte will hate him because Flay will surely accompany her master. Troubled, he asks his speechless clone as he reveals that it's a product of his researching barrier magic in the past 9 years. As he confirms that the clone can't still talk, Hart realizes he needs to make a clone for Flay if she'll come along too, causing him to be more stressed. Suddenly, Hart hears Gold's voice calling him, and even though he's reluctant, the shut-in comes to the training grounds where Gold reveals he'll teach swordsmanship. Gold then emphasizes that it's needed as Hart doesn't have high magical ability. As Gold thinks he's just holing himself up in his room, Hart tells his father that he's researching magic. Hearing that, Gold feels happy, but he doesn't let Hart leave as he hands him a sword to start their training. Looking at the man dubbed the Rumbling Earth's Warhammer, Hart creates an invisible physical barrier to protect himself. Immediately, he leaps toward the mighty warrior, who's surprised but dodges the attack successfully, causing the wooden sword to break. With wide-open eyes, Gold stares at the destruction the attack brought and takes a stance, deciding to attack his son as a test. To his surprise, Hart leaps above and dodges it. Gold then comments that only level 30 warriors can do that, and he stares seriously at his clueless kid. Afterward, Hart reveals researching his magic level but disappointingly learns it's still level 2 with no magical attributes. As a result, he assumes that random magic success rates are his cheat skill. Back to the present, Gold mutters something but tells Hart to continue their training instead. Unbeknownst to them, Charlotte silently watches. At nighttime, Gold reveals the swordsmanship training with Hart to his wife. But while she thinks it's great, the man says Hart may be a demi-demon. As the woman panics, Gold urges her to keep her voice low and reveals the existence of people who are involved with demons, according to the royal's confidential records. Despite Hart having no demonic features, Gold contemplates his undecipherable royal mark and the fact that Flay, a demon, mysteriously follows Hart. Even so, the mother still wants to believe Hart is a normal child. As he leans her head closer, Gold assures his wife that he thinks the same and promises to make their son's life happy together. While they're talking, Charlotte wakes up, believing her brother isn't a demon either, before closing her eyes.
And that concludes our recap of the first episode of Am I the Strongest? Wasn't that an exhilarating start to the series? I hope you enjoyed exploring this fantastical world as much as I did.